Well, how has it been for you? Obviously, the last couple of games you've come back onto the park after a really lengthy injury spell. Everyone good? Everything good? Reacting okay?
Yeah, as we sit now, I feel pretty good. Relieved to be back. It's pretty frustrating, and yeah, just glad to be out there and help. I hate watching. I can't stand it. So yeah, just glad to be back involved.
You're a bad spectator.
Yeah, well, when you're like invested as much, yeah, I'm not great, and it's the same with my brothers. I never really enjoy it all that much, so much prefer being in charge.
Obviously, I think it was 3 months you were out for. Obviously, a lot of rehab in that time too. But what else can you do to try and kind of take your mind off the fact that you are playing and you're obviously missing that part of your life?
Not all that much. I got two young kids that help. They keep you pretty busy. But yeah, apart from that, just make sure you're doing all the right things to get back, and especially given I'm at the tail end of a career, then you need to really make sure you're right.
It was obviously a miserable time for you, missing the cup semi-final too. Kind of talk us through that. As you say, that your stage in your career, you want to savour those moments, and obviously it was devastating for you to miss out.
No, yeah, exactly. We were in right good form at that time as well, and yeah, just really frustrating. And I thought we were going to go over the line, and even then, again, nail biting watching that, and yeah, look, there's nothing you can do. I'm experienced now, and you just know that that's what was meant to happen. I need to get on with it and look to the future.
How hard was watching that specific game? I think you were there and supporting the guys.
Yeah, look, especially because we started so well, but you sort of see that momentum switch, don't you, when they score first and you're trying to push on, but you just know that you just hope for the best, and they were still right in it. So just right behind the boys, and I thought. Most of the time, even like last night, we stay in games for a long time, even when we're not playing well. So I was still pretty confident we'd get back in it, but just wasn't the game.
Do you feel like you could play 90 minutes, or are you kind of a slow return?
I actually do. Yeah, I just feel I'm kind of lucky that I'm naturally pretty fit. So just a sort of, I don't know, metabolism body I've got compared to maybe my brothers, whatever, I can just go straight back in. But yeah, just I do feel, I don't know if that's just in my head, but I do feel as if I could.
I mean, obviously it's a good time from the club's point of view to have you back, because the fixtures are coming thick and fast. There's no break this year. Obviously the injury problems have been well documented here. It must feel good that you're kind of doing your bit to kind of help the club.
Yeah, definitely. It's this winter time's always mad now, especially with no break. So I thought our benches looked stronger and stronger recently. There's not really many out long term, and that can only be good for us, and everyone champing at the bit to get in.
Just a final one from me in terms of obviously facing Hibs. David Gray, someone you know well. You'll want to get the better of him tomorrow night, or the weekend, sorry. But just in terms of him being given that time and being allowed to do, and kind of become this kind of young manager and flourish. How delighted were you to kind of see that?
Yeah, that's great, because I like everyone, I thought at one point it must have been on a shaky peg, and I'm delighted that they were managed to be patient and look, everyone knew, I think, Hibs were going to turn it around. I don't think anyone thought they're where they're meant to be, so I'm not all that surprised, and they seem to have confidence now, so it could be a different animal we face on Saturday. What day is this year on Saturday?
Is that important just for clubs in general? I mean, Stuart's almost been here 2 years now. It just seems some people were calling, under pressure at a stage last season. The club stuck by him. You're now in the top half of the league. It just shows you what stability can do.
No, definitely, but I do feel for like boards and stuff, because it's everywhere. You can't hide anymore. It's not just guys going to the pubs after games and moaning about the manager Saturday and Sunday, and then Monday they're back at work and can't speak to anyone. They can just go online, and it's constant. You'll see it every day, and that's the life we live in now, where everyone's got an opinion, everyone's got a voice that can be heard by everyone. And I do think that must be hard, to be patient and strong and say, no, look, we've got a plan. And we always talk about the Alex Ferguson one, isn't it? Would he have lasted at Man U if it was social media times? I'm not so sure. So yeah, I suppose it's a good example. If you are patient, it can be turned around.
Obviously you mentioned that the bench is looking strong now for a while. There was maybe 7 or 8 of you out for a few months at a time as well. To be in the position you're in, that says a lot about the squad, about the guys who've kind of dug in there as well?
No, definitely, especially some right run of tough fixtures and picked up points, and it just shows you across the board how many options we do have, and boys like Callum Slattery and Ross Callaghan and Sam Nicholson, that's big players in this league for a long time, so if we can get them back fit, then that's brilliant for us.
I know he's out injured now himself, but what did you make of Lennon and how he conducted himself during the Captaincy? Obviously gets thrown into it quite heavily in the semi-final and then obviously take it on further in that.
I think he did really well. It's not an easy one to take on board, and I think when Leeds with just how he plays, that's maybe a wee bit similar to me. I've maybe got more experience in him and can talk to folk a bit more, but listen, the captaincy, if you're playing well and you're leading a team by playing well, then that's what everyone wants. No one really cares if you're shouting, screaming. As long as you're playing well, that's what they want.
You'd spoken about you and Stephen Ball maybe taking some of the off the field stuff away from. What did that kind of look like?
Yeah, he didn't have to do any of the tickets or any of that nonsense. Do you know what I mean? I did most of that, so he had me there to do that, and that was fine. He was doing all the hard work on the pitch.
And you've obviously had the captain and leadership at other clubs. What will that do for a younger player to have that sort of experience on the park, having to lead and talk to referees, all those type of things?
I think it might just be in terms of people maybe that haven't noticed how good Lennon is, maybe watched and seen off he's the captain for a reason, so I think it'll benefit him that way probably. But yeah, it's only going to help him now, and even then when he comes back, he maybe never, hopefully I'm about and he doesn't need to worry about it.
Going back to Saturday, Hibs on a really good run of form, but you're in a good position as well. How important is it to keep that going?
Yeah, massive. We got a result last night, but we're hoping to play a lot better than we did last night. Back on the grass, hopefully. No, it's cold. I doubt it. But yeah, just we've got ourselves in a good position. This league's tight, and if you go on a bad run, you'll fall down that table quick. So we need the performance to get back up, and then hopefully 3 points as opposed to 1.
It's the first in many games coming up as well. It's important to try and keep that going, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not slowing down. There's no international till March, I think. So yeah, that's good. That's good for all of us, especially if as we're saying, there's few injuries and there's been.